Beijing.
It's pretty much. No, I do. I met them. My favorite balm. This permanently lives. Okay, Friendsgiving.
Tiny girl. I spent on cruise.
I love Friendsgiving. The only thing I used to get really hesitant about Thanksgiving was the fact that like I didn't really have a solid group of friends. And it's literally taken me almost 3 years now to find that in the city. I think it's really easy to make friends, but it's really hard to find like people you feel really, really comfortable with. I feel like I finally did it. Are you guys proud of me? I'm proud. I don't know, just thinking back to like the first 2 years when I first moved here, like how much loneliness I had to deal with. Oh, also, new spot. And then I also picked it, which is so silly of me. Anyway, moral of the story is we've come far. We've got friends now, and we've got good friends. Friends that I feel like is like so comfortable that I feel like they're like my family, you know?
Thank you everyone. Happy holidays. I don't see you in
A few updates. You guys know that I've been reading Orlando. I had a really good reading session the other night, except I had to check the dictionary every second or third line. It's really crazy. I haven't really read anything written in like Old English for a really long time, and it is pretty mind-boggling how simplified we are now in terms of like our use of language and just the way we communicate and like even like describe things. Like I've literally highlighted so many ways that she describes, like from Orlando's perspective, like his yearning for like the queen, and it's just like literally paragraphs and paragraphs of like how he describes her and like how he feels towards her. Anyway, so I've been like really romanticizing that type of language. Not saying that I could ever use that type of language in my everyday speaking because I probably just wouldn't be able to retain it, but I've really, really been enjoying reading that piece. If there's any other books that you guys love that was written around the same time, I would love for you to send me through your favorites, because I feel like I just want to get back into reading like old literature. Actually, another one of my favorites, completely different, is The Great Gatsby. It's like such a short book, it's such an easy read, and it really is one of my favorite books to read. It's such a shame because I watched the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio in it before I read the book. So now every time I read the book, my imagination goes straight to like Leo, which is not really the vibe, but you know. Femme. Love these, by the way. They're so fun. This is actually a summer skirt. So nice. It's giving intellectual. Another new thing I've incorporated into my morning routine is listening to music at a vibration of 528 hertz. I think that's what it's called. I could be completely butchering this. Anyway, apparently it's meant to slow down your heart rate and calm your brain, calm your mind. Not really sure if I've felt any difference, but I've been doing that every morning and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I've also recently been getting back into listening to music that has no lyrics. I just feel like sometimes when you're already so overstimulated from receiving information from like social media, online, the news, living in fucking crazy city like New York, although I will say, oh my god, the pace of New York City right now is literally my absolute favorite. If it was like this all year round, I would be so bloody happy, but you know, that's fine. That's also the beauty of New York, that it isn't like that all the time. But there's literally like no one on the streets at the moment. I went to bed last night and it was silent. Everyone's gone home for the long weekend. It's pretty heavenly. Today we're not really doing too much makeup. There's this lip look that I've been really into that I want to experiment with. Something else that I've been getting back into is reading magazines. It's been a minute. I obviously have a huge collection back at home in Sydney, and I've been trying really hard to not collect magazines in New York because I just want as less objects as possible because I don't know where I'm gonna end up. Anyway, I met this guy at this Ralph Lauren show one time, and he actually asked us all this question. He was like, what is something you collect? And I was stunned. I didn't know what to say to him. And he told me that he collected rocks. I'm like, well, you know, what a luxury that you have a space to be able to keep your rock collection, because I would love to be collecting something. But anyway, it got me thinking because it made me realize that I used to collect magazines, and I revisited some of my old magazines recently, and I forgot how good like Document Journal is, Self-Service Magazine, Apartmento. There's just something so special about opening up a book and reading an interview. That's actually my favorite way to get to know an artist or just someone that I don't know, is literally through reading interviews. I secured the sourdough. I also got some cardamom buns as a little sweet treat for the girlies. I love the long weekend holidays around this time of the year so much. Okay, I've done my base. Okay, Tom Ford sent me some of their shades, and you know I already absolutely love Tom Ford. I requested them to send me like brownie nudie shades because those are the shades that I wear most. This I'm really excited to try. I think I'm gonna do this as a base and then just like work and layer. This is also like a pinky brown, and then they also sent me one that's like completely brown. Okay, my beauty inspos, Zoe Kravitz. She is a beauty muse. I'm obsessed with her. And I've noticed, okay, I don't know whether it's like her complexion that naturally gives her this, but I've noticed like her top lip is always slightly darker than her bottom lip, but it's still lined on the outside. And then another person I'm obsessed with, Tina Kunaki. I think it must be her complexion, but they both just have like this really beautiful tone in their lips. Again, like the upper is like slightly darker. That's what I'm referencing today with my lip look. We're gonna start with the lighter shade, which is this one, a Sable Smoke. That is a very sexy name. I'm just gonna lightly pat my lips so it's not so producty. Oh, I'm so sad. I was really hoping and planning to make it back to Australia over like Christmas, New Year's, and spending at least like a month there, because since I've moved to New York. Oh wait. Ooh. Wow, I love that. That is a really nice base. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Since I've moved to New York, I haven't spent longer than 10 days back home in Australia, which is kind of crazy. I was doing a 2-year acting course, which was quite intense, and I was always kind of on a time limit every time I'd go home. I really would love to spend like a month at home, but I haven't been able to do that. Flights are really expensive. Another place I call home is Beijing, because my mom lives there. And I haven't gone to Beijing since before COVID, and I haven't seen my grandparents for 6 years, which is fucking insanity. And so every time I've had a break in the last 3 years, I've always gone back to Sydney because there's always like work related things as well. Okay, wait. This is West Coast. I think it's got like purple bits in it too. Or this is like a proper brown. It's understated. This one's like definitely giving a bit more reddy. I think I'm gonna go with a brownie and then like layer the red on. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with West Coast. Oh, that's really nice. So basically I haven't gone back to Beijing, and I've just made the decision to sacrifice going to Sydney unless work brings me back there, which is really sad because like I really wanted a break from winter and just have like my little like summer getaway. Anyway, it's also really exciting because I've just made the decision to commit to going back home to Beijing and spending like 3 weeks there doing Chinese New Year's, being with my grandparents. I really want to improve my Chinese, and I just want to get to know Beijing. Like, I've only ever really been there when I was like really young. It's like not something that I'm super proud to admit, but like I guess wasn't as interested in the culture as much. Whereas now I'm like really making it a priority for me to reconnect to the culture, just because I feel like, I don't know, it really is like such a deep part of like who I am, especially now not living in Sydney. I've really found a community of Asian creatives here in New York that I feel so at home with, and I don't think I ever really had that feeling. I know that's not true, like I've had it a little bit here and there in Sydney, but I've never had it as strong as I have had it in New York. You know, it's such a transient city that when you do find like familiarity and the feeling of home, you naturally just really hold on to that feeling, and like you naturally just like flock together. I'm really looking forward to going back to Beijing. Anyway, this is kind of it. I don't have lip liner at the moment. I think this lip is something we can gradually work to figuring out. But I really like that. I'm like really into using just like a darker shade at the top and then leaving the bottom. I think to create more of a shape next time, I'll like line the outside a little more so it gives it more of like a full voluminous look. I mean, we can kind of do it now. I just like dab it and then just do it from like the bottom center bit. That's my lip look. Oh, I've never had a real Christmas tree before. It is a dream. One day, smell, oh, it's so pretty. What else, guys? I got sent a pair of shoes from Girls, which is one of my favorite publications in New York. Just in terms of like their editorials and stuff, I feel like they always shoot girls in a really fresh way. I'm also a really big fan of the founder, Takun. His background is design. He had his own brand for a really long time. I just think it's really cool because he's made Girls not just a publication but like a full brand. So they always do collaborations with Nike. They did like an edit with Ralph Lauren last year that I really liked. And now they've just launched Vans collab. I used to be obsessed with Vans. I actually still have my old Vans. And let's just be honest, I was obsessed with skaters. Like, I loved skater boys. Girls, Vans. I did genuinely love skate culture though. Like, I went to school in Bondi and there were so many skater boys in my year. I don't know, like it's just like a sense of freedom. They kind of like, they hang out on the streets most of the time. I don't know, I just thought that was really cool. I mean, I still kind of think it's a little cool. I really like these. I've never had a white pair of Vans. I think this is so cute. I love Vans. I don't think they'll ever go out of fashion. They're just like a good sneaker. But yeah, like growing up, because I went to school near the beach, I used to hang out at Bondi Skate Park like every afternoon with all the skater boys, and it was so fun watching them skate. Like we'd go in and out dipping in the sea and then we'd come and like tan by the bowl, and like Bolorama would come to Sydney every single year. Like Tony Hawk would come, we'd hang out with like all the skaters from like Europe and like America and stuff, and it was just like a really exciting time, and like I just loved like that sense of community.
They make it in here.
The cover wins.
No, two more left to do. Sidetrack. We have to see the nut pets.
To be honest.
She worked at Vogue like late 40s, early 50s, and then went on to do other things, and now it's the nectar, like really sweet. She's a consultant in terms of contracts that I don't have. All that.
I don't want dessert. Does anyone?
We're okay, thank you so much. Hi guys. It's 1:27. My favorite sprays. I have about 10 of these that I keep next to my bed. This is Deep Sleep and it has like little affirmations at the back of it. Before I go to sleep, I always say rejuvenate and rest in the arms of the infinite as your body heals deeply, and then you just spray this everywhere. It smells heavenly. In the daytime, I like using Divine Sovereignty, and then this one's my favorite, but I'm running low. It's called Golden Ascension. They're energetic aura room sprays, and you can choose to believe them or not, but I just really like the idea of like setting an intention and spraying these before the day starts. The woman who created these, they're handmade in Australia, and she's actually a healer, because I feel like there's a lot of like fake woo-woo sprays and stuff, but hers are legit because she actually meditates and sends her magical powers into these while she makes them. No, I'm kidding, but like, do you know what I mean? She like sources all her ingredients from like around the world, like really powerful healing ingredients. And then Courage recently launched their fragrances, and I got sent all the mini ones. I usually love the dark blue one. I can't find it at the moment. It's probably in one of my bags, but I'm gonna go with this today. It's like really smoky, a little darker than the one that I always wear, but I just feel like it kind of goes with the vibe of today. Also, I've been really good at not purchasing anything. I've been on a massive purge. I cleaned out my storage unit again yesterday. I actually got a lady to come over. She helped me. She like bought pieces to sell. I'm gonna do it again in my main closet and just get rid of like everything. Not everything, but I feel like I already have quite like a capsule wardrobe, but I want to minimize it even more. Soup combo. Every time I go to make a minestrone, like a veggie soup, I put pesto in it at the end of it, a lot of Parmesan cheese, a scoop of fresh chili paste, a godsend.